Hi, everybody. Listen to this terrific Why Fletcher. Hi, everybody. I'm Jim Stavridis, the Dean of the Fletcher School of Law and Diplomacy, and I'm here with my very good friend, Ravi Shankar Chaturvedi, who is the author, along with our own Bhaskar Chakravorti and Rusty Tunnard, of the Digital Planet Project, which is what we're going to talk about. But before we even get to that, I want to acknowledge this is our first video shot in the presence of the all-new Jumbo. As many of you know, the original Jumbo burned in a fire some years ago, and so through the efforts of a donor, we now have this big, beautiful elephant to stand behind us. And as we all know, elephants are symbols of wisdom and longevity, and so we're going to talk a little about that in the context of this Digital Planet Project. But before we even get to that, Ravi Shankar, I want to ask you, why did you come to Fletcher? What made you come to this wonderful school?
Thank you, first of all, for having me. It's
Sure.
a great pleasure. Why did I come to Fletcher? I have an MBA from about 15 years ago, and my MBA from Asia did coach me and teach me the finer aspects of how to run a business.
Sure.
and the interplay of between the various components of a business. But as I went on to take on more senior roles in emerging and frontier markets, I realized that I was bumping up against forces that are outside of the perimeter of business,
Exactly.
Which are really things like government, politics, policy, regulation, things that I wasn't adequately prepared to handle.
I understand.
Fletcher was the only school that I applied to, by the way.
Wow.
And the fact that the school gave me a very generous scholarship made the decision very easy.
Fabulous. Well, speaking of scholarships and money, I've been very impressed with the Digital Planet study, but even more important are that people like Eric Schmidt of Google and Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook have been very impressed with the Digital Planet.
Thank you.
Tell me how the project started, Ravi Shankar.
The project started with Bhaskar calling me into his office one day after graduation and asking me if I'm open to working with him to start off this study on the global digital economy.
Right.
And it was very easy to say yes.
Yeah.
I had worked with Bhaskar in the past.
Right.
He and I did some really cool work on charting geoeconomic scenarios.
Right.
One of my finest projects as a student working with him. And I jumped at the chance of working with him.
Fabulous. And then did Rusty Tunnard join immediately? Has this always been the three of you?
It's always been the three of us.
Yeah, fabulous. What a great trio.
Thank you.
So tell us, what are the, kind of in a couple of sentences, what are some of the key conclusions from the report?
Well, we wanted to look at digitalization from a sort of a holistic perspective.
Got it.
That digitalization is changing the way we interact, transact, and live our lives is a given. But we were more the three of us were concerned about the pace and the nature of this transformation from the world of atoms to the world of bits.
Yeah.
The question we asked ourselves is this transformation happening at the same speed,
Yeah.
or are different countries at different speeds in their journey to a digital planet? And that is where we said a good way to do it is to measure the pace of transformation, and that was the genesis, so to speak, of the index that underlies the report.
And if you were to predict what the world will be like in 10 years based on this study, how much change will we see? 10
It's
years.
fascinating.
Yeah.
Some of the fastest growth that we see is what we call in the breakout markets, and most of the breakout markets are in Asia, China, India,
Sure.
Malaysia, Brazil, Latin America as well, and some parts of Africa. And that's where clearly the biggest opportunities
growth
are
will
going to be.
Fabulous.
Interestingly, Europe is stalling out, and when we called that out, the Dutch government came out and rejected our findings, which we think is good.
Yeah.
But then again, that Europe is going through a bit of a digital slump, so to speak.
Well, I think what we can be assured of is that our world will change in every dimension.
Absolutely.
In security, economics, finance, business, the ecology, the environment. All of this is why a Fletcher education is so valuable.
Absolutely.
Because it's all about that multidisciplinary approach. So Ravi, thank you for sharing your thoughts on the Digital Planet, tweeted by Bill Gates. This thing is sweeping the planet. You can download it from our website. Check it out. Ravi, we are so proud of you as an alumna of the Fletcher School.
Thank you so much.